City Championship Wrestling presents A Night to Remember, featuring the crowning of the first ever City Championship Wrestling Tag Team Champion in a one-night tournament, featuring The Purge, the Darien Nation, New Albania, plus Freedom Ramsey and Ryan Matthias team up. Plus, the first defense of the Heavyweight Championship, Andre Kabashi defends against the Cat Daddy Paul Bowser. Jackson Stone's in action. All that and so much more on Night to Remember.
Ladies and gentlemen, the real Paul Jones here with Iron Ike Watts. Now, Ike, tonight you are in the Survival of the Fittest tournament, and you certainly have had to survive a lot since running with New Albania and getting kicked out, trying to find your place in the locker room, and now you look for a chance to take your place at the top of the locker room.
Oh, yeah, I've definitely had my ups and downs at CCW. Now I get a chance at the heavyweight title for CCW. I couldn't ask for more. And this time, everybody's gonna feel my payback.
Abrams, the enforcer of New Albania, now stepping into the ring.
Survival of the fittest. It's a simple equation. We're the fittest, we survive. You don't. It's gonna be, who is it, Ike Watts? Tonight?
Who Ike Watts?
Well, Ike Watts for Jay Abrams. Where's Straud? He getting ready for his match? He's getting ready for his match. You don't got to worry about. Oh, Paul Jones, that way. You're going to get a microphone that works? Microphone that works? There we go now. Now you're going to look at me all mad. What are you angry about? You're not the one who's going to be losing tonight. It's going to be Ike Watts. To none other than the big gun, Jay Abrams. He won, Paul Jones. That's the story for right now. That's the story for when Trevor comes out, and that's the story later tonight. He won New Albanian CCW Heavyweight Champion. No, we'll see about that.
Broadcast position, These are two powerhouses and what's continuing to be an epic lineup of absolute meat smashing.
Ike, you ready?
This inaugural heavyweight championship tournament.
That perfectly describes this match. Two mountains of men. Yeah, they're going to meet like big bulls in the middle of the ring. Giant rams on the mountain.
Both men getting low, using their leverage.
The big gun backed him up a step, but no, Ike backs him right back.
Big gun, absolutely imposing figure.
They're going to break. Andre Kabashi is giving some words of encouragement.
280 pounds.
Andre Kabashi already getting comfortable with the ring. He's got his hands on the rope. George, you keep an eye on him.
Ike Watts slouch himself when it comes to physicality.
Again, the big Rams locking horns. Ike Watts and Jay Abrams.
Look at both men just digging into the apron here.
Getting low, going back high. Jay takes a step. Another. He's got Ike into the corner. Iron close to iron.
I doubt anyone here expected a clean break out of New Albania. The big gun Jay Abrams laying some heavy elbows in, but cut off now by Iron Ike. Returning some heavy elbows in kind.
He's fighting back. He's got Jay Abrams stagnant and stunned. Setting up.
Ladies and gentlemen, perhaps not a...
Oh, my!
Look at the power by Iron Ike Watts, ladies and gentlemen. 2 count only, though, the big gun. Andre Kabashi absolutely losing his mind on the outside there.
Pound for pound, Jay Abrams is the biggest man in this promotion, and Iron just got him over in a suplex. And he looks like he might be going for another. Jay Abrams wisely gets back, pushes the head down and drops a clubbing forearm across the shoulders.
Jay Abrams just maims his opponents.
Oh, brutal double axe handle. Puts Ike onto his back. Gets a shoulder up. Shows wisdom from his time as a referee before he got his wrestler's license. He knows to keep that shoulder up at all costs.
I question Jay Abrams.
Jay comes across for this three-point splash, and he gets it.
Now Iron Ike, for the first time, ladies and gentlemen, tiptoeing through the tulips here at the hands of the big gun, Jay Abrams.
Jay with a stomp to the shoulder blade, now dropping the axe handle.
Andre Kabashi stalking the outside.
Now he's stalking the championship. No, it's not your property yet, Andre. Andre still has 2 matches to go before he can hope to have this City Championship Wrestling Heavyweight Championship.
12.5 pounds of gold, ladies and gentlemen.
And on the minds of both these men in this match, Iron Ike Watts and Big Gun Jay Abrams. Jay's twisting it, trying to twist that arm right out of the shoulder, or the shoulder out of the socket. Good gosh, Bubba.
Tremendous pressure being applied to the wrist, elbow, and shoulder all at the same time.
This is amazing.
I've used this maneuver many times, throwing drunks out of bars over the years, Paul Jones.
Yeah, well, thankfully we don't have anyone abusing alcohol here at Sophia's Banquet Hall, though the bar is open.
Ike Watts out at 2, but one has to wonder if the damage is already done, Paul Jones.
Well, there certainly has been a good amount of damage done, and New Albania has done all kind of damage to Iron Ike Watts over the last year, and they're trying to keep him out of the match for the title at the end of the night.
Pay attention to the positioning here, Paul Jones. Notice the tremendous pressure and weight as Big J is applying his chest, his back, all down on the neck of Iron Ike right now. He's forcing Iron Ike to carry his weight, to bear that load. And what a load it is to bear for big gun Jay Abrams. But Iron Ike, no slouch when it comes to the power department.
And now he's putting elbows into the midsection of the big gun.
He doesn't have a lot of room to fire up.
Oh,
Wait
Andre,
a second
come on now, George, come on. Andre had the ankle.
You're never fighting one-on-one when you're fighting members of New Albania here in City Championship Wrestling.
That is correct. That is something guaranteed. Death, taxes, and the numbers game when New Albania is out here.
Andre Kabashi in the face of Ike Watts now. P1. I still don't quite understand this concept, Paul Jones.
So apparently what it is it's similar to the pole position over here in our racing. Over in Europe in the F1 series, you know what I'm saying? It's called P1. It's like winning the race, being in the pole position.
Well, here at City Championship Wrestling, I don't know a damn thing about car racing. But what I do know is fisticuffs and grappling. And we bring you the best of that each and every week at youtube.com/City Championship Wrestling.
Oh, Iron Ike Watts.
Ike now fighting back.
Big belly to
belly now, reversing the tide, changing the direction of this matchup. Iron Ike Watts.
And again, Andre on the ankle. Come on, George. Oh, Ike is chasing. The boss is running to the back. Iron Ike Watts may have lost sight of the prize. There's a championship sitting right here on the table, and Iron Ike Watts is going to get all worried about Andre Kabashi, chase him off to the back.
Big gun Jay Abrams able to recover.
He's up to 8.
Wait a second here.
Ike isn't going to make it back. Well, and George Ross is going to call this contest, of course, as a count out. 10 seconds. You got 10. You got to the count of 10 to get back to the ring.
Ike Watts just absolutely threw away his chance at the heavyweight championship, Paul Jones. I can't believe that.
Jay Abrams sprinted out the front door they came in.
He fell for the chicanery and hijinks of Andre Kabashi in New Albania.
Well,
ladies and gentlemen, what an exciting card we've had so far, and more action to come here at City Championship Wrestling.
City Championship Wrestling presents A Night to Remember, featuring the crowning of the first ever City Championship Wrestling Tag Team Champion in a one-night tournament featuring The Purge, the Darien Nation, New Albania, plus Freedom Ramsey and Ryan Matthias team up. Plus, the first defense of the Heavyweight Championship, Andre Kabashi defends against the Cat Daddy Paul Bowser. Jackson Stone's in action. All that and so much more on Night to Remember.
Albania, ladies and gentlemen, the natural born killer, Trevor Straud now.
Representing New Albania, the natural born killer.
Violent deliverance, but not Freedom Ramsey.
The face of City Championship Wrestling, the fans here just love Freedom Ramsey, and you can't blame them because I love him too.
And there is the opening bell, folks. Freedom Ramsey and Trevor Straud, these two have quite a history.
Timekeeper Midas making it official here, ladies and gentlemen. Collar and elbow tie-up.
Both men standing tall. Circling, gonna lock up again.
Every match so far just filled with such intensity.
And
these young men really want a chance at this inaugural heavyweight championship so bad.
Well, we've also seen some fine, good old professional wrestling.
We certainly have.
And that's exactly what we're seeing right now, ladies and gentlemen. No ridiculous, insane brawls, although they do happen sometimes. It's hard to keep the inmates inside the asylum, so to speak. Trevor Straud.
Reversal by the natural born killer.
Absolutely, keeping Freedom Ramsey inside of that side headlock.
Freedom thinking a step ahead, however.
Absolutely, he has got Trevor Straud back to his feet in a wrist lock. Going to hold on to
maintaining that wrist control, very important.
Oh, Trevor ducks under out of it into a waist lock.
Beautiful reversal there by Straud. Reversed again by Freedom Ramsey now going for that belly to back.
Oh! Slamming him down. Trevor's going to scurry to the rope and latch around it like a babe on a toy.
Thinking a few steps ahead himself now, the natural born killer.
Freedom Ramsey getting the crowd behind him. Yeah! Absolutely, the crowd always loves Freedom Ramsey. Trevor's going to take that arm wringer wrist lock and give it a deep wrench.
Nice technique applied by the natural born killer. I have to give it to him.
Freedom, oh my gosh.
Reversed, however, by Ramsey, but right back into the ropes. Veteran maneuvering, aware of his position in the ring at all times. The natural born killer, Trevor Straud now.
Trevor motioning for Freedom to come in. Oh, whoa. Did Straud get a fist in there? I think he did.
He got something in there on that collar and elbow tie-up attempt.
Well, it wouldn't take long for New Albania to resort to those tactics. Everybody knows what I'm talking about. And if you don't, you figure it out.
Natural born killer raining punishment upon Freedom Ramsey now all of a sudden in this matchup.
Send Straud into the ropes. Straud going
drop
over.
Down. Deep
ducks.
Arm drag takeover. Another arm drag takeover by Ramsey. Punctuated by a beautiful flying drop kick. Woo, big super line sends the natural born killer reeling into the corner.
Freedom's going to go for another, but Trevor Straud evaded.
Straud out of the way now.
Pulls Freedom out. Setting up for a suplex, perhaps. Yes, he does.
Textbook vertical suplex now by the natural born killer.
And you can trust the natural born killer to put a little snap on that suplex.
I have to say it again, though, conspicuous by their absence, the other members of New Albania, their presence has already been made aware to the fans here. In in our last matchup.
It's very odd, but I'm sure they're not far away. Andre Kabashi still preparing for his preliminary match. Jay Abrams now preparing for the main event.
I'd hate to suggest that I'm concerned for Andre Kabashi, but I will say if Iron Ike managed to catch up with Andre Kabashi, he may have indeed found himself in a world of trouble courtesy of Iron Ike.
Good gosh.
Ramsey now rocking and reeling and able to get that elbow in though, however. Able to make enough space to really get some impressive range on those elbows.
I think Straud, he's scooping freedom off of that rope. Oh, walks out into a power bomb. Oh my gosh.
2 count only now. Both men on their backs in the middle of the ring.
Straud, the first to rise.
Impressive power by the natural-born killer.
Well, he does fancy himself a hunter.
Yeah, suggests Ramsey now in serious trouble. Ladies and gentlemen, if you've never been on the receiving end of a power bomb, I can assure you I don't recommend it.
Yeah, the power bomb always means trouble, folks. Trust me.
Ramsey able to get that elbow in though.
Gets that boot is real high. That was probably on the forehead, if not the face of Trevor Straud.
Ramsey now showing signs of life.
He's gonna need it. He's gonna need it. Not just for this.
Look at the athleticism once again by Freedom Ramsey.
Oh. Comes off the rope. Close
Ramsey
line.
now absolutely taking Trevor Straud to school.
Oh. Freedom comes across. Looking for the face buster. Looking for the face buster. No, he's going to take his time with him. He's going to drive fist down. Freedom Ramsey is a ring general.
There you have it. 10 right hands punctuated by a face buster. And impressively, the natural-born killer, Trevor Straud, able to kick out. One has to wonder, the suffering and pain inflicted, is it all worth it?
Bubba, I'm exhausted just watching these matchups. And Straud, what am I going to do, Straud? What are we going to do for you? Oh, but he doesn't need
Wait a second.
Short arm lariat. Oh,
able to reverse the tide and draw in that beautiful short arm clothesline.
That's right.
He doesn't believe it, but it was indeed a 2 count only.
My gosh, Trevor Straud.
Both straps down, ladies and gentlemen, in professional wrestling, you know that means business.
Well, I don't know if this is wise on Trevor's part. He did. Should have kept his mouth shut.
Big wind-up miss, though. And he ate all of that courtesy of Freedom Ramsey.
Oh, and the fist of freedom is going to give Freedom Ramsey his spot in the Survival of the Fittest main event.
Moving on to the main event this evening.
I will give credit where credit is due. Paul Jones. Trevor Straud hung in there by himself like a consummate athlete, which is surprising, I know, for a member of New Albania. But it wasn't enough to overcome the fire that is Freedom Ramsey here at City Championship Wrestling, Survival of the Fittest.
City Championship Wrestling presents A Night to Remember, featuring the crowning of the first ever City Championship Wrestling Tag Team Champion in a one-night tournament featuring The Purge, the Darien Nation, New Albania, plus Freedom Ramsey and Ryan Matthias team up. Plus, the first defense of the Heavyweight Championship, Andre Kabashi defends against the Cat Daddy Paul Bowser. Jackson Stone's in action. All that and so much more. A Night to Remember.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Jones, it's the Cat Daddy and Paul Jones. It feels like classic CCW up in here, but nope. These walls are not the studio. Where are we at? We are not so beautiful Wyandotte, Michigan. Sophie's Bar. See, it's not just for New Albania. It's not just for New Albania. enough about our fine fans here. How you doing today, Jones?
I'm doing pretty good, Bowser, and I hope you're doing well.
I'm doing
as
great.
yourself.
I'm about to become CCW heavyweight champion. First champion ever. Suckers. 2.5 years.
2.5 years.
2.5 years. And now we're crowning the first champion. None of this first show, first event, first champion bull crap. Don't think so, Jones. We don't do that here at City Championship Wrestling, do we?
No, we don't.
Damn straight. Now, I will finish getting ready for my match. I hate to cut this interview short, but I got to go. All right, you have a good rest of your night. I got to go win Survival of the Fittest, baby. Woo!
Stick around for it, folks. You can call it, it ain't music. It's not. It's a recording of a woman screaming, and I'm concerned how they came across it. I'd like to remind you all there's an FBI field office in Detroit, not far from our territory. Maybe one of us needs to report New Albania to a couple of government agencies.
That Andre was able to escape the clutches of Ike Watts.
Paul Bowser, my good friend, the Cat Daddy. And folks, I would like to remind everyone that these matchups were randomly selected.
Taking on the leader of New Albania, escaping from Ike Watts, Andre Kabashi, who looks like he really doesn't want anything to do with the Cat Daddy. And I can't say I blame him.
Immediately, Andre Kabashi gets Paul Bowser down. He knows he would like him in a horizontal base. Andre Kabashi knows how to get down on the mat.
Andre Kabashi now, but Bowser able to catch that leg and go low.
Now he's putting the boots to Paul Bowser's shoulder with reckless abandon. Andre Kabashi. Stomp, stomp.
Now nearly a minute into this this matchup here, and we have yet to see a wrestling maneuver, hold, or...
Well, and this is what I was talking about earlier, folks. Every once in a while, a brawl will transpire, and that's really what this... I mean, this isn't a brawl. This is more brawling.
Rear naked choke now applied. Looks like Cat Daddy is fighting for position, able to get his fingers under that arm of Kabashi.
And Kabashi
able to roll over now.
Has gotten it back to a more pure wrestling match, professional wrestling match, which is what he wants.
Kabashi able to maintain back control now.
And look at that right there. Say what you will about Andre Kabashi, he knew to keep that shoulder up as long as possible. He knew he was in a predicament. You got to be careful when you're on offense. Sometimes you got to be on defense.
Listen to the Cat Daddy now. Raining heavy blows into Andre Kabashi.
Oh!
Body slam him here on the concrete floor.
That is a rough one, Bubba. And the Cat Daddy is going to go back into the ring, and he's going to try to win by count out.
I understand New Albania has its customs, laws, and traditions, but you have just entered the world of the Cat Daddy.
The Cat Daddy, I think he was going for a pile driver, but Kabashi, oh my.
Attempting a pinfall there, but Bowser able to simply just switch his hips to get out of it. Beautiful reversal there.
Woo!
Textbook snap suplex. Look at Kabashi.
Oh, Bowser going for the pin.
He knows that he can't be pinned on his stomach. Paul Bowser had to take the extra couple of seconds to roll him over to his back, and that was all Kabashi needed to be able to kick out of that pinfall attempt.
Well, Kabashi, if Bowser's using his right shoulder to block Kabashi's vision, he can't see that he's close enough to the rope. He probably could have given it a go.
12-6 elbow now by the Cat Daddy. Illegal in mixed martial arts, but very legal here in professional wrestling.
Kabashi's trying to wrestle, pardon my pun, the Cat Daddy into the rope, and he is. He's going to send him out onto the floor. He's going to head out as well. That's surprising.
Some gnarly knee lifts there from Andre Kabashi.
Kabashi.
While the Cat Daddy is slimmed down, Kabashi's beefed up a little bit. Both of these athletes in the best condition that I've seen them here in City Championship Wrestling. But once again here on the outside of the ring, Paul Jones, where you cannot win a chance, as far as I understand, however, to go on to the next round and become the champion. Is that correct?
That is correct. That is correct. You do have to win this match in the ring. This is...
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I know a thing or two about combat.
Kabashi is in that. Oh, whoa. Wow. He uses the kick to get out of that. That's amazing.
Andre Kabashi able to get that kick up.
Paul Bowser had to drop him.
Paul Bowser, of course, famously has suffered some serious head trauma in his professional wrestling career.
Oh, knees to the midsection.
Bowser able to kick out, veteran maneuvering, getting himself into that corner.
My gosh, Bubba,
Kabashi raining down hellfire and discontent upon the Cat Daddy.
Oh.
Sharp elbow now driving what's left of the air out of it. Bowser out of the way at the last minute.
Oh, Kabashi with a punt kick to the midsection.
Devastating kick now.
He uses the boot to just
soccer kick, or
Bowser
in
off the
Albania
apron.
they might call that a football kick, Paul Jones.
I'm sure they would.
Wait a second here. Andre Kabashi grabbing this inaugural heavyweight championship belt. More than 12 and a half pounds.
You put that down, Kabashi. You both put this right down.
Right here in front of our broadcast position.
Absolutely not. No.
Wait a second.
Get it back in the ring, George. Get it back in the ring. Come on now. Get it. Come on. Get it under control. What in the world?
9 count by George Ross. 10 count. It's all over. Timekeeper ringing the bell.
This match is declared a double countout.
And what has been the second count out of this tournament, Paul Jones? What a battle here between the Cat Daddy and Andre Kabashi, continuing to battle to the back here.
Well, that brings up a good point, Bubba. A fan in the crowd even just demanded a rematch.
City Championship Wrestling presents A Night to Remember, featuring the crowning of the first ever City Championship Wrestling Tag Team Champion in a one-night tournament, featuring The Purge, The Darien Nation, New Albania, plus Freedom Ramsey and Ryan Matthias team up. Plus, the first defense of the Heavyweight Championship, Andre Kabashi defends against the Cat Daddy Paul Bowser. Jackson Stone's in action. All that and so much more. A Night to Remember.
Ladies and gentlemen, the real Paul Jones here at Survival of the Fittest, where the two of you didn't quite make the tournament proper. But you will be in the Last Chancers tag team match. And if you win against Anthony Coleman Jr. and a mystery opponent of the company's choosing. That's right. The ones who run this place, Mr. Bailey. And if you want to get into that main event and win that title and try to run this place, I suggest you keep your eye on the prize.
Here's how I see it. All right. Anthony Coleman Jr. is brand new here in City Championship Wrestling. He doesn't have a lot of friends. No one to really rely on. Am I not wrong? So, never am. So here's what's going to happen. You stand on the apron. I'm going to take care of Coleman myself.
You? In what ways, and what skills do you even have against Anthony Coleman, the most dominant MMA fighter? Like, tell me, what skills would you have to take out Anthony Coleman?
14 years of amateur wrestling. 3 years of MMA training. What do you have? Oh, you're a mercenary.
That's right.
Oh.
And this mercenary gets the job done. And when I collect the biggest prize in City Championship Wrestling, that heavyweight title, it doubles up the paycheck. So you better not mess up this tag team match. All right?
You fight for money, I fight for my life.
Oh.
That's the difference between you and I.
Yeah.
Well, you'll both be fighting for your lives against Anthony Coleman Jr. on his own, let alone the partner that the company chose, gentlemen. They're getting paid. They're showing up. Go get ready.
Good luck, partner.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here with Anthony Coleman Jr. Now, Anthony, your opponents tonight didn't happen to notice because they were so engrossed in themselves. I saw that you were nearby and you heard everything they said. So, what do you think about the words of those youngsters?
That's exactly what they are, youngsters. Uneducated ones at that. You know, I've fought for many titles, but I've never fought for the City Championship Wrestling heavyweight title. It's an honor to do so. And apparently I have a mystery partner. Not sure who it is. It doesn't matter. All I know is Coleman is here to wreak havoc. It's that simple. And at the end of the day, always remember, Coleman taps everybody.
This is a last chance entry to the Survival of the Fittest tournament. In mixed martial arts, kickboxing, and boxing. And oddly enough, I've actually refereed amateur mixed martial arts fights by this young man here, the bad guy, Anthony Coleman. Anthony Coleman staring down Fields and Bailey. I gotta believe he's once again this music. Wait a second. Coleman looks as surprised as we are, Jones.
Well, the last Chancellor's Tag Team match. Anthony Coleman Jr. and Trevor Straud are going to be a team. Jay Fields and Thomas Bailey. There is the bell.
Able to weasel himself back into this tournament. Coleman now says, no way.
Yeah, it's going to take more than that.
Bailey may want to rethink this plan of action against the bad guy, Anthony Coleman. I will tell you from experience.
Couple of... Oh, my, Thomas Bailey. Thomas Bailey and Jay Fields got big heads on their shoulders, but...
Bailey every bit at 230. Oof. But the bad guy, Anthony Coleman, probably walking around 265 on a good day.
Well, and then look at Trevor Straud, his partner. Trevor's, you know, he's not a huge man, but he isn't small either. He's a pretty big guy. Oh, God.
Perhaps a more appropriate matchup, at least some level of amateur combat experience here. Muay Thai and wrestling. Able to telegraphing that kick, though, catching it is Coleman.
Fields trying to put something together there, but Jay...
Sending Fields to the mat now. Vicious punches now to the body from Coleman. Referee George Ross counting to 4, almost 5. Trying to break these men up, get the action out of the corner. Bailey able to reach over Ross's shoulders.
George Ross taking Thomas Bailey back to the corner, telling him he needs to keep a hand on that turnbuckle.
Bailey got a finger full of eyes of the bad guy.
Straud and Bailey hollering at each other from across the ring. They need to focus on their teammates and if they need help.
Anthony Coleman now finding himself in no man's land in the corner of Fields and Bailey. Wait a second. Trevor Straud, I have to give it up to him. I would imagine after the matchup he just had. Once again showing you how important attaining this inaugural championship is to these young competitors, Paul Jones. And Trevor Straud would somehow insert him in yet another match, finding himself in this wild card tag match.
Whoa!
Right. Volunteering somehow to become Anthony Coleman's partner. Coleman now sent reeling by Jay Fields.
Jay Fields with an impressive repertoire. But he's going to go ahead and let Thomas Bailey get in the path of the bad guy. He's going to, well, no, they're going to work together for a little bit.
Finally able to take the big man off his feet with a little teamwork.
That's what it's going to take. This could be a handicap match. Anthony Coleman could have even just not had a partner and it would still be like this, folks. He's a monster man.
I'm sure he's happy Trevor Straud was there to bail him out of that pinning predicament, though.
Oh, I'm sure. He wants a shot at the heavyweight championship sitting in front of us, Bubba. All 4 of these men do.
Celtic Mercenary just measuring that middle back trapezius area of Anthony Coleman. And you do enough damage to that area, you know, you can get a muscle spasm. It can really freeze your neck up.
It really seems like none of these guys like each other. They're really all just in this for the gold and what that means. That better contract.
Coleman fighting back, but cut off by the Celtic Mercenary. Perhaps having a little communication breakdown here. Fields and Bailey.
Each other. Unwise. You need to stay on top of the bad guy before he gets on you, and he is getting on Thomas Bailey.
Trevor Straud is able to use this opportunity to rest and recover on the outside.
Thomas Bailey raked the eyes of the big guy. And
Coleman continues to try to fight his way back into his corner, but stopping him is Thomas Bailey here. Big jumping senton. Once again, Trevor Straud bailing out the bad guy Anthony Coleman, who has nearly been pinned now twice in this matchup, Paul Jones.
I'm going to say that these two young guns may have just made a really dumb move. I'm pretty sure I can hear from the table that Thomas Bailey just called the maneuver they're going to do. Oh, we're going to take him out with something. We're going to let him know about it.
Look at the power by the bad guy Anthony Coleman, suplexing both Jay Fields and the Celtic Mercenary like a car crash on I-94 now. 3 competitors down, rocking and reeling, tiptoeing through the tulips of this inaugural championship tournament. Tagging in the natural born killer.
Yeah, Trevor Straud is in, and he is fresh, taking both of these guys out.
With malice and bad intent in his mind.
He's going to throw Thomas Bailey from the ring. Now he's headed over to Jay Fields, but the bad guy back on the apron. This could get bad. Again, no pun intended, folks. I'm not much of a comedian.
Tagging Coleman back in, but Coleman seems like he's still tiptoeing through those tulips.
Oh, like a train coming off the rope.
Shades of the alpha male Monty Brown.
My gosh.
Devastation, courtesy of the bad guy. Wait a second now.
I guess that's one way to get the victory. George Ross calling for the bell.
Wait a second now. Trevor Straud.
Ladies and gentlemen, your winners in this match. And moving on to the main event, Anthony Coleman Jr. and Trevor Straud.
Coleman does not look happy at all, but let's face it, ladies and gentlemen. In a backwards sort of way,